Okay, hello everyone, it is Foul Play here, and we are back again for some blue Bogles. So this version of the deck, I'm running blue instead of green. We're a land base of 20 lands, no Dryad Arbor in this list. I'm running 8 fetch lands, 4 of which should be Flooded Strand. I've only got 3 there. I've got 1 Misty Rainforest, doing the poor man's imitation on the other side. The other fetch land is then Misty Rainforest, which is a 4 of. So after we get, our initial Hallowed Fountain down or Seachrome Coast down, we're then mostly looking to get a white source to play out Daybreak Coronet. Although it can be quite important also to get double blue. So you can cast an aura like Curious Obsession and then still hold up a counterspell like Stubborn Denial. So outside of that, Seachrome Coast is a 4 of to reduce the pain. Hallowed Fountain as a 4 of to increase the consistency. 3 basics, which is pretty standard, and 1 of Woodlog Grove, just to cycle away in scenarios where you need to do that. I would like to run more Horizon type lands. Hopefully the blue-white one gets printed in Modern Horizons and I'll be able to do that. I did test with like 1 or 2 Windswept Heaths as well, and it's a little bit inconsistent and I didn't really like it. Alright, so creature-wise, we've got Slippery Bogle, which is a 1/1 hexproof creature, same as in the green deck. We've also got a 2-mana Invisible Stalker, which is hexproof and unblockable. Very nice stats right there. 2 core Spirit Dancers for like Gantz combo, card draw, things like that. You get a lot of card draw from your Curious Obsession and your Staggering Insight. We're running like 4 Curious, 3 Staggering Insight, so whenever you deal damage to a player, you draw a card. So core Spirit Dancer, a little less important than in the green version. Okay, so we've got 4 ofs for Ethereal Armor, for the Hyena Umbra, for the Arcane Flight, the Curious Obsession, and the Daybreak. And then we've got the 3 off for the Staggering Insight, the 2 off for the Gristburn. So the entire idea for auras on this deck is you put down a Bogle or a Stalker, you attack, you draw some cards, you draw more auras, you keep playing that way, dealing damage. So with your Stalker, if your opponent puts down, with your Slippery Bogle, if your opponent puts down a chump blocker, you can then play one of your 6 flying effects. We've got 4 Arcane Flights and 2 Gristburns, both of which give flying. So you can pair Curious Obsession with flying to get that attack in to guarantee the card draw. Against burn decks, you get extra life gain from Staggering Insight, from Daybreak Coronet, all of that. Against combo decks, we've got Force of Negation, which is pretty strong, Stubborn Denial as well. I would like more Force in the list, but they're extremely expensive online, and I've only been able to afford 2 so far. I'm getting closer, about like 20 tickets short of my 3rd one, but almost there. Alright, so moving across here, we have got, for our sideboard, Pithing Needle. So this is going to be really handy against Mono Red Prowess, which is running 4 Blast Zones and 2 Oblivion Stone. Shut them down from blowing up our entire board, which is going to be very, very important. The 3rd path for numerous creature-based decks. Hushbringer for anything with like Skyclave, some combo decks as well. Run ETBs like the Sahili. The Sahili with the Fetid Guardian has made a bit of a comeback, so that works against them as well. We've got Deprive, which has been a little bit of an all-star against Tron, actually, able to counter their creatures as well as their planeswalkers. Echoing Truth, which is my main answer for like Ensnaring Bridge here. Lavinia in there a little bit for Amulet Titan, for Neoform. Gets those decks. Damping Sphere for Tron and Storm. And Leyline of Sanctity for cards that are decks that are going to make us discard or sack creatures. So I'm going to take this deck. We're going to get into a league and see if we can continue our good form with it. Alright, so here we are. And we're going to get into game 1. And the other one I versed was Y Princip, however you say it. Who was on Amulet Titan. Managed to get the win there too. Alright, so this hand's got no creatures. We're going to have to throw it. Alright, down to 5. Good thing about this deck is if we have like a card draw aura with our creature, we're able to draw out of our like behind position. We're up against Ghost. I versed this person a few nights ago. I can't remember what they're on. I'm sure it'll come flooding back to me soon. Alright. Down to 4. And bottom Daybreak and some lands. Yeah, this is not really where we want to be. We, let's play out the Seachrome Coast here. Try to psych them, make them think we're on, like, Ad Nauseam or something. We got pretty unfortunate with our hands there, between having no creatures or having no lands. We never got a real good combination there. Alright, so let's play out our Slippery Bogle, pass the turn. Flooded Strand. Is this the Omnath guy? Or one of the Omnath guys? I suppose we'll find out shortly. So Hallowed Fountain comes down. Seachrome Coast. Oh, was this the Spirits player? No. They'd be doing something. Alright, let's attempt this Staggering Insight. It's most likely going to get countered, but then hopefully we pave the way for Core Spirit Dancer plus card draw next turn. Alright, that resolves. That's quite surprising. Rattle Chains, Chump Block. Oh, that's pretty good. So it was Spirits. I did get the call right. It's pretty good. Alright. If we draw an aura off the top, we can start doing stuff with Core Spirit Dancer. But, like, main deck Skyclave is a big issue for us. And they're just hard casting the Drog Skull Captain. Alright, let's get rid of this Misty Rainforest. Straight for another Hallowed Fountain. In tapped. Go to our turn, see what we draw. Alright. Nice game of variance so far. Go on, play another captain so I can, like, double up on core triggers. Like, any one mana aura off the top draws us 2 cards at that point. So going for the Coco, Skyclave, yeah, sure, whatever. We probably lost this one anyway, just because, like, mulled 4 and no gas. Interestingly enough here, our flying does not help our Bogle attack into, like, these chump blockers. Alright, so... Ethereal Armor, a very good draw. See if our Core Spirit Dancer sticks around or not. Probably not. Probably be Coco into, like, Skyclave and another captain, or a Phantasmal Image or Glasspool Mimic copying Drogskull. Well, there's a Glasspool Mimic, so goodbye to core. It's not too bad if we draw another creature. Ethereal Armor is good. We will need a little more help off the top of our library. We'll need, like, pretty much Stalker into Daybreak and for them to have no more Skyclaves. Alright. I think I've had enough on this one. Alright, cool. Cool. After we take, like, heap more damage next turn, it's just not realistic that we're going to come back into it. So the really important effects are, like, Hushbringer, obviously. Path is probably about on par with Echoing Truth here. Our counterspells are a little bit weak, but we probably don't want the Force of Negations, but we probably do want something like Stubborn Denial, something like Deprive. Deprive obviously hitting the creatures. They've got, like... It's like a mana leak unless you pay 4, but if you, like, control a flying creature, it's unless you pay 4. So that's like a 2 mana counterspell that they have. So having Stubborn Denial to help protect our own spells, or Deprive to help protect our own spells, isn't, like, the worst in the world. Core Spirit Dance is weak. Grisspoon's weak, so we'll just remove them. And yeah, I'll shave on a Deprive. So let's go with that. Unlike before, where, like, a 2-mana non-hexproof creature is awful. Like Hushbringer is just incredible. Alright, this is a really sweet hand I'm going to keep. The only downside to this hand is we don't have double blue mana. But we have Curious Obsession to help us find more blue mana. And we have a creature they can't target with their effects. So definitely happy to see this hand. The Arcane Flights are like sort of redundant. Noble Hierarch turn 1. Boy, oh boy. Yeah. Let's get that down before they can counter it. What you got now, opponent? What have you got now? They can always just like hold up Spell Queller, but they can't counter anything with it. So, I guess they'll just play like a Drogskull Captain if they have it and look to make a wide board state. Mausoleum Wanderer, sure. So only instant and sorcerers is not going to affect our auras here. It's like pretty medium. Stalker pass. If we're Curious Obsession on our Hushbringer, we attack. We take like 3 damage and we lose our guy, and it's not worthwhile, right? It's fine. We'll like slow it down for 1 turn and then look to get back into it next turn. Another Phantom. Alright, their board's getting kind of big now. Another Hierarch. Well, that's not the scariest. I guess Mausoleum Wanderer can now attack for 5, which is kind of decent. Have to be aware of cards of like Knight of Autumn as well, but with Hushbringer that shuts that right down. Okay, good. So just gonna fetch out a basic island here, go double Curious Obsession on the Stalker, attack for a bunch, draw a bunch, hopefully we like head towards our lifelink. Hyena Umbra? Sure. Gonna put that on the Hushbringer. Might need to like make a chump block or something. Intensifies our opponent not to attack. At the moment it is also our only source of life gains. So having like some extra points of power on it so that we can gain some life is not awful as well. Alright, what are we doing now, Ghost? You've got access to 5 mana. You can potentially play a 6th mana source. They've got the Collected Company. I think they just have to cast it. Glasspool Mimic. Copy the Phantom. Sure. Getting some fat spirits out here on this board. See, just attacking for 4. Oh, well, it would be 6, but now it's 7. If they attack with 2 creatures, that's beneficial to us. So now they're attacking for 10. That would put us to 3. It's not ideal. I think we can trade the Hyena Umbra for 4 points. So like it's essentially like 6 life here for the Hyena Umbra. I think that's a pretty worthwhile block. So then we like take net 4. Much better result. Selfless Spirit. We take like a fat attack next turn. So like real unfortunate. I've drawn like no auras. I've drawn like creatures in land. If I had an ethereal armor, I might be able to erase, like go ethereal, arcane attack. The moment I think I just have to attack with Stalker, draw 2 cards, look to draw Daybreak Coronet, and then put Arcane Flight plus Daybreak Coronet on the Hushbringer. Well, there's the Daybreak. Not even sure it's enough though. How much damage has our opponent got in the air? They've got 8. Plus another 6 is 14. They've got 18 damage in the air. I can block potentially 5, gaining 5 life. And then I'm still taking 3, 6, 9, 13. Minus the 5 is 8. Thing is, I can like Arcane Flight here, but it costs me 2 life, and then I gain 1 extra. I don't think it's worth it. Obviously, actually, we can't block the Selfless Spirit either, because they'll just sack it in response to give their creatures indestructible. So I'll blocks the Mausoleum Wanderer. I think we go to 1 if I counter right, unless they've got an effect. Okay, that's good. Oh, exactly 0, man. Well, there's nothing we could do there. We played that game as tight as we could. It's a shame, like, we couldn't utilize that green mana either. Sorry, the white mana there either. We're full of green auras then. That was so close. I think we were like a little bit unlucky that they had like all their creatures were just lords that buffed each other as opposed to EDP creatures, which Hushbringer would have shut down. So, alright, well, I'll keep this one. It's not amazing, but it's like an unblockable 5/5 Vigilance Lifelink flying. And yeah, seems decent. Lots of land in hand right now. Has mulliganed to 5 cards at the moment. Sort of feels like my first game, only that was 4. 4 and to lose, like, get 2 for 1. Yikes. Big old unfortunate one. Alright, so Hallowed Fountain down tapped. Pass the turn. I mean, I could get, like, tricky by holding up Flooded Strand, but there's, like, very little reason to. I think I just want to be aggressive. Serum Visions? Oh, boy. Is this Gristlebrand? Nourishing Shell, Neoform, that one? Is it the Neoform deck? What they do? 1 top, 1 bottom. Alright. So next turn we can Stalker with Daybreak. And Hyena Umbra for Totem Armor. I don't know. I smell a spell Neoform here. They're counting their cards, seeing if they can go off, which, like, this is pretty annoying as well. Because I don't have any counter spells in hand, which would be one of the main advantages of playing blue against this deck. Alright, they're going for it. 2 cards left in hand. What they exile. Manamorpho's Pact, and there's the Neoform. Alright. Alright, you got it, opponent. Go for it. I think they've probably forced this a turn early. Like, most of the time it's not going to matter and they're going to win anyway. Like, I'm just not going to kill them next turn, and they're forced to. I guess maybe they get a bit of extra card draw. Worm into Nourishing Shell. Alright, we're like super dead unless they fizzle here. I'm not sure, like, even if they can fizzle, because they, like, have one, what's it called? The green Phyrexian one that puts a card from your graveyard on top of the library. They have like a million lands they can just pitch as well. Wait, did they pitch this one that's 7 life instead of like a 14? That's got to be good news for us. They could just have it in hand and they have to just click sideways so much that it just takes them a long time. Chancellor of the Tangled. Well, they're down to 8 cards in hand. In library, sorry. That, like, last card. We're just, like, so dead. Unless it's Lab Maniac and they have no more mana morphos, which seems extremely unlikely. Alright. Neoform things. Casual, turn 2 kill. Completely just dies to a counterspell, but is just like absolutely disgusting against anything not running counterspells. So they're gonna play the Laboratory Maniac or whatever it's called. And then draw some cards and then win. Cool. Alright, they get there. So, Lavinia is great. It's going to stop their stupid packs. Pithing Needle is good. We can name Gristlebrand. Damping Sphere, maybe. Deprive is good. Path is probably bad, especially given all the things we can bring in. Flying is probably our most medium effect. Damping Sphere will, after they cast their Chancellor, cast their Neoform, make all of their packs cost 1 more to cast, and also the Mana Morphos and the Lab Maniac. So I think Damping Sphere is actually fine here. We can probably trim on like Invisible Stalker. I think Core Spirit Dancer and Lavinia are the more powerful creatures here to keep in our deck than the Invisible Stalkers. Cool, we'll keep this one. Looks awesome. So yeah, we got a Pithing Needle for stupid Gristleburn activation. We got Core Spirit Dancer to draw us cards, and we got a Force to counter things. Very, very happy about this. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. They are not ready. Opponent can also have like Will. They're used to like having to sideboard for Grafdigger's Cage in a lot of different matchups. So it's very likely that Pithing Needle will get like just wilted. They're down to 5 now. Alright, we'll start with our Flooded Strand. We'll get Hallowed Fountain. Pithing Needle. Gristlebrand. Alright. Ship it through. Do your thing, opponent. Again, they can just wilt it, but make them have it. Alright, they concede. Cool. So you can see there, opponent will concede to turn 1. I got another Deprive I can bring in. Turn 1, they will concede. Might just minus Hyena Umbra here. We'll go with that one. Extra Deprive is probably going to be important. If you're just like, because the Allosaurus Rider takes like 2 cards from their hand to put out, and the Neoform sacks a creature, so you like 4 for 1 them if you counter that stupid card. Well, it's a good Bogle hand. It doesn't interact at all. It draws stuff. I think we can find something with a hate piece. Like, considering what we're versing, alright, Lavinia's great. That'll stop all their Nourishing Shells. And we got the Deprived too. Alright. Let's go. Opponent mulliganing to 5 this game. So Lavinia, very like similar function to Gadoktig in this matchup. Alright, turn 1 revealed Chancellor. Do you have the turn 1 go off and win? Oh man, Manamorphose, please don't. Please, I have a family. Go on, just Serum Visions and pass. You don't want to go for it. Alright, cool. So I get Island here. I sort of want to play around when I cast Deprive, putting down a land that doesn't cost me too much life. So obviously they can still just put down a Gristlebrand and it will be like very, very good. And we will need to then beat the Gristlebrand. Alright, opponent concedes to Lavinia now. Sweet. Easy games. I will take it. Got the sideboard tech that gets the job done. Let's get into this match 3 now. Alright, so match 3 against North Lagos. We won the die roll, so that means playtime. We'll keep this hand. So, a pretty damn strong hand here, so looking forward to it. As long as we're able to resolve our creature on turn 2, we are golden. Our opponent has mulligan to 6 currently. Alright, looks like they've chosen a 6 to start with, so seems good for us. So Seachrome Curse is down. It's like not terrible me drawing like an extra mana source here. Oh, please no Thoughtseize. Come on, man. Okay, that's fine. Whew. You had me scared. Zombies? Looks like a zombie deck. Let's go Hallowed Fountain here. So enters the battlefield tapped. 2 power for 1 mana. 3 mana, return it from your grave to the battlefield at sorcery speed, only if you have 1 off your cards in hand. Okay. It's not like the scariest thing. The scary things are the ones that like drain you for 1 when one of their zombies dies. I imagine a deck like this would play Drown on the Lock as far as the relative interaction is concerned. So there he is. When it enters, or another zombie enters on battlefield under your control. Wait, let me read this again. Alright, whenever this or another zombie you control dies, you draw a card and lose a life. Okay. Alright. Staggering Insight down. We like deal 1 less damage, gain 2 more life than if we do Curious Obsession plus another aura. And this way, if we draw a land here, we can also play another aura. Daybreak? Well, I'm not going to complain about that one either. Alright, hit for 4. That is fine. Jareth's Messenger is fine. Alright, we're in a good spot now. It's got to just be Daybreak. Curious Obsession is just overthinking it. There's nothing else to it. Stubborn Denial off the top. Alright, well, we're at a healthy 16. Our opponents are down to 9. They can't block our creature unless they can somehow remove the unblockable. Also remove it through Hexproof. And, you know, we have... I guess we're an Ethereal Armor off of winning it next turn, or... Should have blocked something there. Too busy talking. Alright, so another Jareth. Sure. Ethereal Armor would be good. A land would also be helpful. We see neither. So I'll attack here for 7, gain 7. Any block we do will gain a bunch of life as well. Get to draw 2 cards, don't forget. We draw a Stalker and a Force of Negation. Alright. We're stuck on 2 mana, guys, but fortunately we have the bigger and better creature. Just discard an Invisible Stalker. They've already seen that card. Not giving away any information there. Alright, what are you casting? Anything I can force? It's the big question. Alright, let's just block this Undead Augur. So we net lose 1 life there. Opponent goes to 1. And they concede. Alright, sweet. So a zombie deck. Hushbringer seems kind of strong, but also kind of fragile, because if our opponent just like kills it, we're in trouble. Spirit Dancer seems kind of medium. Pithing Needle may come in handy. I'm not sure what against yet. Path seems good. Counter Magic, I'm not really sure what it's getting here, other than like random Thoughtseize. Echoing Truth is probably reasonable, but worse than Path. Deprive is probably very good. Got a lot of extra cards here. Alright, let's trim on the Deprive and the Echoing Truth there. 1 less Hushbringer, 1 less Grispoon. Actually, I'll go down on an Arcane Flight. It's not going to be as important if we're not running the Forces. Having the extra white aura in there might allow us to curve out on one of our 2 white basics. Oh, man. Oh, man. if there's blue mana on top of my library, this is extremely, extremely good. If not, it's pretty bad. Alright, I'm gonna risk it. I'm up a game. If I was down a game, I'd be mulling this, but this, I think it's worth the risk on the draw. Sorry, with leyline protection as well. Like, this is very juicy. Carrion feeder, yep. There it is. Alright. Better lucky than good. Let's get that one down. Pass the turn. Depending on what we draw, we might just want to go on an Invisible Stalker instead. If I draw a Flying Aura, I can pretty easily go in on Slippery Bogle. If I draw a land, it's probably more likely I'll just Invisible Stalker, right? So Crypt Breaker, Carrion Feeder, yep. So that's a land. Carrying Feeders can't block, so he could attack for 2 and guarantee a card draw. So let's go the Stalker. It's like worse if they do a Bontus, but would they commit 3 creatures to the board in Bontus? I mean, like, fair play to them if they do. Don't really want to play around that though. So they get a card draw. Alright. Yeah, the problem of going like Curious Obsession on the Bogle there is it takes us a turn longer to get Stalker online. And even though they're most likely not going to chump block the Bogle, we're most likely going to get the card draw. We're eventually going to be put in a point where we want Stalker to be the creature that's doing the attacking, that's drawing us the cards, or else they just like go wide with chump blocks and we'll be in trouble. So, like, I can't see any good reason to not play the Stalker there. We're not exactly under pressure. We've got protection from Wayline. All of that stuff. Why are they attacking with 2, but they're not attacking with the second Carrion Feeder that can't block? This is weird. Are they planning to just play 2 more zombies and tap and draw another card? Don't really want to block here in case they have like smallpox or something. Don't want to get blown out. Alright, so Dreaded Wanderer. That one again. And one of the things that gains life or deals damage or etc. Yep, that one, okay. Undead Augur. Hello, Ethereal Armor. Well, I'm not going to be playing you this turn, but next turn you're going to be very, very nice. Like, reasons to sequence it this way as well as we only have, like, blue mana. So we can't play Ethereal Armor Daybreak and then play double Curious next turn. Like, that and card draw is OP. And, yeah, there's so many reasons to just do it this way. Another White Aura. Alright. Good stuff. Well, we have lethal next turn now. Really easily. Plague Belcher, Zombie Beast. When it enters the battlefield, put 2/-1 counters on target creature you control. When another zombie dies, each opponent loses 2 life. So I don't see any way for them to like chain damage here. This all seems fine. Attacking with Carrion Feeder. Free block. Are they going to sack it in response or anything to stop me from gaining life? Because I can sack it to the other Carrion Feeder. Seems very odd. I think we just get a win here. Alright, tap to draw a card. They're putting the counter on that Carrion Feeder. And what, you're sacking your whole board to kill it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Make that creature a 6/6. I mean, they can do that and we just go in on Bogle and we're fine. But they'd literally lose everything except the Carrion Feeder, including this Plague Belcher here. If they do that, next turn we can play 4 auras out, so we have 5, 6, 7 power. We'll put them to 1. So now they're going to be put to 0 next turn. Wonder if they forget about like first strike and get absolutely blown out. Alright, they don't forget about first strike, but that's fine. Creature dies. We have another one. We have the auras. Oh no, chump blocker? No chump blocker. Aethervar? Alright, that's fine. Had me worried there for a minute. A lot of their 1-mana creatures can't block though, or enter tapped, and you know, all of that. So, Xaxes. Alright, and we win. Attacking, we would have drawn Seachrome Curse. Nothing relevant we can do with that. It was probably a bad chump block at the end there, but we got the win anyway. So I'll take it. Match 4 up against MOFC, and we won the die roll. So that means we are on the play. This with a Bogle keep, this with the Stalker, I can't. Like, I just can't risk not hitting that second land drop. So, alright, this looks a lot better. We're going to keep this one, and I'll bottom Ace Stalker, and then we can at least Stubborn Denial in our turn 1 if they go to discard or something. Interestingly enough, we have no white mana in hand, but that's fine. The blue is way more important for what we want to and need to do. Opponent is on 6. Oop. Black Clear Cliffs. Alright. Alright. Well, we are going to get out our guy. This point where they go, what the devil are we versing? They might be holding up Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt. We might see a Lightning Bolt to our face now. Not really sure. Probably we'll see a discard spell hit our hand next turn and take away our Curious Obsession, which is a little bit sad. If this Stubborn Denial was Force of Vigor, we could protect our Curious Obsession like that. But alas, if we're real lucky, they're just going to go for a Renin 6. Or a Tarmogoyf? Yes, sweet. Alright. Looks good to me. Alright, let's go Curious Obsession and attack for 2, look to draw a card. If our opponent, if we draw a mana, we can play out our second Invisible Stalker or another Aura. If we don't draw out that, we hold up Stubborn Denial for Liliana. Alright, so we just told up Stubborn Denial, that's fine. No Liliana blowout today. Not unless they wait another turn, but then we can just stalk her. And again, we're in a good spot. So opponent will just attack for 1. Alright. Alright. Well, you know what? Jundecks hate? Jundecks hate card draw, so I have a feeling like Assassin's Trophy is going to be coming down here. We can counter it with Stubby D. And then we get to draw 2 cards. Abrupt Decay, well, that one can't be counted. But we are still going to draw a card. There it is. Alright, we'll play out the Bogle now. Extra Liliana Assurance. A chump blocker for Tarmogoyf, maybe. I mean, just no. I guess they can pay the life now. And get our Staggering Insight, get our Arcane Flight. But I guess if they pay the life here after missing a land drop last turn, then... Sorry, pay the mana here after missing one last turn. They're not really adding much. So goodbye Staggering Insight, and then we can just go like Flying Creature attack. Just take this. Could also cycle Waterlog Grove now. See if we draw some gas. We do not. Alright, let's attack for 4. Draw another Bogle. Alright, alright. Probably should have cast that Bogle. I just hit 2 through my turn though, unfortunately. So hopefully they don't draw mana because their hand is full of spells and I don't want them to be able to start casting every spell in their hand. So we're praying for no mana here. As bizarre as that sounds. I wonder if Skyclaves is coming down shortly. Not that much of a stretch that John would play that incredibly powerful card. Oh, there's the Blood Crypt. Here it comes. They're down to 2. Down to, sorry, 5. Season Pyromancer? Sure. So we're like any one aura off of killing them. Feels kind of good. Discarding Clothis. Hello. Well, if we're going to draw an aura, that's a nice one to draw. So now we have exactly 5 damage to attack for. And redundant card draws. Alright. Getting there. So Leylines are good against Jund. I don't have any graveyard hates, so maybe... I normally side out Paths for Rest in Peace. Maybe Path is fine here. Path is also an answer to Clothis. Spirit Dancer is like not bad, but not great. I think it's probably fine to stay in the list though. Let's... It's minus on paths, and then it's like either a grist spoon or a force of negation or a stubborn denial or something like that. I'm just gonna go like this. While we're on the like play, counterspells are probably fine. I guess it's fine in both scenarios. Deprive's like better if we're on the play than if we're on the draw, though. It's the main point I was very poorly articulating there. Could like Pithing Needle and Blind Name Verdant Catacombs and just watch as they can't cast anything. So we're on the draw this game, though. On the draw. Alright, so hand has no creatures. Well, no brainer here. Opponent keeping a 7. I really don't like this, but like honestly, keeping a hand that's guaranteed a creature is probably not the worst thing ever. I'm only running 3 ley lines, so I'm less likely to actually like hit a ley line for turning off my opponent's hand. Problem is if I keep this, like Curious Obsession just gets removed instead, and then like Plague Engineer and we're in trouble. Alright, well, we'll keep this one, but I'm pretty sure it's going goodbye. So let's go with that. Hyena Umbra is probably slightly better than Ethereal Armor there, and we're probably just going to lose our only creature. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so hopefully Thoughtseize Bug helps us, and we top deck a creature and can just, you know, play stuff, right? Alright, well that's... right there, Thoughtseize Bug. So now we're just dodging another removal spell. They'll probably take this time to, like, jam Tarmogoyf, and then hopefully they don't have Liliana to follow it up afterwards. Oh, look, Verdant Catacombs name... Pithing Needle naming Verdant Catacombs would get them. Called it. Alright, there's a Tarmogoyf 3-4. Sure. So we'll have, I'm sure, a very unhappy opponent here. They never like when, like, the card they thought seized is top decked, but obviously it's quite nice for us. We can Staggering Insight here to start gaining life, drawing cards as well. So no Liliana just yet either. Ren and 6. Alright, that's fine. Bloodstained Mire seemed like a weird play if they were just getting back the Verdant Catacombs. Alright, let's throw our chickens in one basket. They have the sack effect, they have it. I can't beat it this game. Can worry about that in game 3 if that's the case. Waterlog Grove, alright. No force. Boo. I guess probably the slightly tighter line was play the Staggering Insight, leaving up blue mana. If I draw my 1 Stubborn Denial, I can play it. But they are hitting 4 mana this turn anyway, so that's a bit irrelevant. We know about the Verdant Catacombs with the Ren and 6 from last turn. So yeah. Cling to Dust, sure. Sack Bloodstained Mire and pump the Goithy. No shock on the Blood Crypt. That's got to be good for us. They should have an extra land they can play this turn. Yeah, there it is. We still know one card in hand is Verdant, though. They haven't gotten rid of that one. Oh, hello. Alright, so Curious Obsession, Staggering Insight, attack, draw 3 cards, gain some life. Well, this seems pretty good to me. Opponent lightning bolting me. Alright. We draw the creature, so we can now play around Liliana that way, and card draw has gotten us there. Holy moly. Top deck the Stalker into card draw is really showing its strength right now. Opponent concedes. Sweet. That's 3-1 going into the final round. It's a nice clean 2-0 as well. I think we obviously got lucky with the whole Thoughtseize thing. But yeah, awesome. Alright, so let's get this match 5 happening. Alright, so we're on the die roll, we're on the play up against Crusherbot BG. Yeah, looks like a good 7. A few too many lands, but we have card draw auras to help us get there, so that's also quite nice. This is like, if these are like Griffspoon and Curious Obsession, it like looks way worse. Sorry, Griffspoon and Arcane Flight looks way worse than Curious Obsession and Staggering Insight, that they're able to just ramp us through. Alright, what do you got, Crusherbot? What have you got? We are ready for it, maybe. Nice salty thanks, you two. Okay. Allies. Into Aethervial Shop. Daybreak Coronet is good. So we'll crack this Windswept Teeth for planes. We'll get out our Staggering Insight. These guys are probably playing Skyclave. So, like, our auras aren't necessarily the safest once they're on the board, but I guess if our card draw auras are drawing us cards, then, you know, that's all well and good. They've replaced themselves, sort of. Weakness of being in on, like, the Bogle here is the fact that they can just put up chump blockers and then we have an issue. I might pretty early on switch across onto the Invisible Stalker plan next turn now that it's in hand. And then, like, I won't get chump blocked out of existence or something along those lines. So, Druid? Habat's Druid. Okay. Alright, so I'm pretty fine putting the Curious Obsession onto the Bogle here. I don't think they're going to chump block. I think they need that creature to help generate their mana. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to attack here, draw 2 cards. If not, I'm at least gaining some life. And then Invisible Stalker next turn with Ethereal Armor and Daybreak backup is going to be like really, really OP. Alright, so no blocks. We do in fact get to draw cards here. Alright, and we draw a couple of auras. So, yeah, we're absolutely going off right now. Invisible Stalker down. And that is going to be the primary target for the auras now. Alright, what can my opponent do? Skyclave is like a core spirit, but it doesn't mean that they're not running it. Another ally enters, choose a color, gain protection until end of turn. Sure. Buffs up this guy by 1. End of turn until next turn. End of turn. Right. Okay. Fairly tame turn. Do the flex play of like just be reckless with our life total, right? Alright, and the only creature we need to attack with is Invisible Stalker. They're just going to chump block the Bogle anyway, and Bogle doesn't have first strike. So attack for 10, go to 31, put our opponent to 4, yield to this trigger. That's a Curious Obsession trigger, yeah, sure. And drawing another land, okay, that's fine. We've got like all the important cards down on board, so solid stuff. I can't imagine them winning through this board state, but I mean, I guess we'll see. Sure, so more random triggers. So their humans can get protections from like blue, from green. That doesn't really matter. Which means I'm not going to be able to block, but I do have a very healthy life total, so it shouldn't matter. Can you buff the misery out of what is currently 7 power? Adding 5. Alright, I guess that Druid's the card to do it. Another one of them, sure. Sacking the Silent Clearing. Okay. Into a Plains. Aether. Alright, we're fine. We win. How'd this deck make it to the 4-1 slot? This doesn't make sense. They gain some life as well. Okay, sure. So they're going to gain 8 life, go up to 12, and then I can play high in Umbra and win. Sure. Alright, sweet. Gets there. Alright, forces seem kind of bad here, other than the fact they hit Aether Vial. Path seems good. Hushbringer seems really good. Echoing Truth seems good. Deprive reasonable, but they're probably going to be running like Cavern of Souls, so probably not. Then we can just like minus the core spirit dancers because we brought in the Hushbringers, and yeah, all good to go. So match 2, and this time we're going to be on the draw. Yeah, we'll throw this one. We don't have any mana. Alright, 2 hands in a row like that. Jeez, is Moto bugged or something? Alright, we gotta keep. We'll bottom a mana source, and path is probably important, but let's get rid of it. Get rid of the Umbra. Alright, Ether Vial, sure. Alright, turn 1 creature's pretty reasonable. I don't think I'm going to use it though. And Chalice on 1. Well, I mean, sure. Like, we can win through that, but, like, whatever. Let's see if our opponent wastes a creature on chump blocking this Bogle. So we, like, suddenly have reason to play Forces again, but I guess Echoing Truth hits Chalice as well, so not the end of the world. Not yet. Alright, what are they doing this turn? It's like frustrating versing Chalice with the blue version of the deck, because one of our creatures is 2 mana, so even if we're on the play, there's a large likelihood that our 1 mana auras in hand will just get switched off by Chalice before we even get a chance to cast them. Alright, so Stalker can attack, Bogle chump blocking duty. I have a feeling these things are going to get like very out of hand very quickly. Even if we had of like drawn the Echoing Truth there, we don't have any auras to like slam down and punish following. I think on that turn I needed to draw Staggering Insight, and then the next turn I could like Echoing Truth, Ethereal Armor, maybe another aura as well. And Ratchet Bomb. I mean, are these guys like mono artifact hate or what? What the hell? Jesus. Holy moly. It's freaking thick hate here, isn't it? Well, at least they're going to put it up to 2. If we find Echoing Truth, we can still bounce the Chalice, go down on Bogle, onto the Bogle with Ethereal Armor and Arcane Flight, and then win. I wonder if they're willing to trade that for a Bogle. 1 card left in hand. Look at all these artifacts as well. How good would Force of Vigor be here? And they don't even attack. And we don't draw anything. I mean... Well, they forgot to put a charge counter on Ratchet Bomb too. Alright, they realized. Alright, here comes Aethervar. You got... What do you got? The lifelink one? Sure. Here comes Pro Green, Pro Blue. Oh, they've chosen Pro Green. They're playing around the Dryad Arbor. We got a 5. I don't see a way that we can win here. Start with Staggering Insight, maybe. No Staggering Insight. I mean... Yeah, Chalice things. It's like, what his deck is doing is not even being that menacing. Just mostly because he's loaded up on auras here. Alright. I don't have it. I don't want to show him any more cards or anything. Alright, so Force of Negation just got like a huge up, as did Stubborn Denial. Path seems slightly worse now. Especially if we've got the Hushbringers to deal with their stupid creatures anyway. Could bring in some Pithing Needles to name Ratchet Bomb. Might bring in 1 Pithing Needle over a Grispen. Okay, let's do that. Because you just know they're sideboarding in more than 1 Ratchet Bomb. Like, that wasn't just a fluke. Oh, come on, dude. If I could just have, like, a good hand that actually has resources in it, a capable hand with resources in it, that would be incredible. Like, down to 4 now, like... I've got 11 creatures in the deck and 20 land. It shouldn't be that hard to have a combination of creature and land. Keep. The little Bogle that could. Alright, we need land into like Daybreak or Staggering Insight or flying of some description, something like that. Alright, there's land. No Chalice. Chalice is not getting me this game. I probably should have taken out the Arcane Flight over the Grispoon because I can get Grispoon back from the grave through Chalice. I think that was a slightly poor decision on my part, but... Also, the mulligan was just atrocious. Alright, show me a good aura. Opponent's going to take a little while to get online. Or like Hushbringer, I'd be really happy to see a Hushbringer on this next turn. Blade Master, here he is. 2/2 and nothing exciting. Yep, I'll play that. Curious Obsession is down. And that's an attack for 6. Hopefully no like 1 mana chump blocker, and then we draw a card and then we can get back into this. Alright, no blocks. Awesome. Alright, good stuff. Good stuff. Opponent's on 8. Any, like, evasive aura and we pretty much win. See what they can do with that turn. So, both named ally, they don't have mana for Skyclave Apparition here, which is nice. Means our auras are not getting attacked. This had named Spirit or Core. Obviously, then they could still cast it. Human ally soldier. I'd like to give a little bit of commentary on their deck and things that it could potentially be doing, but to be honest, I don't really know allies very well, so I don't really have much input on that matter. I know, like, they have lots of little niche interactions, and that someone that doesn't know the deck that looks at a board state won't be able to see, like, nearly as many lines as the person actually playing the deck. And you can get a lot of free wins from your opponent's misplaying by not knowing how the interactions work. Alright, so copy Blade Master, sweet. Opponent attacking for 3. Alright, flying off the top, please. 1 in 5. If I draw the Pithing Needle here, I'll be very upset. Alright, straight into attacks. They'll have to start sacrificing their board state. Aether Vial. Sure. You think you can give yourself enough power to kill my creature? I think you're wrong. Go for it. Check out how First Strike works. Sure. So we just kill the big one. We'll leave this Seachrome Coast in hand. Give our opponent something to think about. Oh, they have First Strike as well? Okay, never mind. I'm very foolish. Okay. Their line was completely reasonable. Another Blade Master. Well, this is, like, completely different to what we versed last game. Opponent attacking for just 5? Sure. Alright, or off the top. Let's go. I can't not attack or else Curious Obsession falls off. I think I'm just losing here. I need to attack here. No, I can't. I just lose. Like, drawing double land there is, like, so frustrating. My opponent needs to forget that they have First Strike. Oh, well. Not to be. Not to be. Too many rubbish cards. Stalker off top. It's not really helping either. Curious Obsession just falls off if we don't attack. So we need to, like, somehow try and force the issue there. But it didn't work out. Just a 3-2. Overall, reasonably happy with the list. Obviously, I'd like Stubborn Denial to be a force there. Felt good having the extra staggering insight because I was running 2 before, but I've gone back up to 3 and that definitely felt good. Sideboard wise, Deprived didn't do much. Lavinia won us a game. Pithing Needle won us a game. Damping Sphere, not much. I sort of feel like at the moment, like, Damping Sphere probably not that necessary, and I probably need the extra ley line, particularly because I'm low on forces. Even if I am versing a Thoughtseize deck, like, having the ley line there is much better than the force because it doesn't 2-for-1 you. Like, force a Thoughtseize, you're pitching an aura or a creature or something to it, and you're 2-for-1ing yourself, where ley line just, like, shuts it down and shuts down, like, any subsequent discard or sacrifice effects that target. So I think that's going to be a pretty important change up. I had like a lot of games in this league where I got like double planes out and wasn't able to empty my blue auras. I'm not sure if like the deck can sustain double planes or if we need to look to remove that for like just an extra fetch land or something. Like I can put an extra Misty Rainforest in there and all of that. Other than that, anything else? No. I think I'm mostly happy with the deck and what it's doing at the moment. I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I'm gonna end the stream as well. I am feeling a little bit tired, so thank you for watching. Anyone that watched, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Anyone watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed the video as well. Be sure to leave a like or comment down below and let me know what you thought. If there's any evolutions you think I can include in the deck as well. If you're new, subscribe for daily content and ring the bell for more. Thank you all. I'll see you next time.